And now, this.
I also have, I think, a ChatGPT related article, so maybe I simply go next.
Go ahead.
Need to check which one. I mean, in the end, they're all kind of related to it. Yeah, the one from Next Web, if you want to open them, it's the new chat or the new GPT-4 app that can be life-changing for visually impaired people. So bringing a use case here, because I've read this week, and you probably too, a lot of news about that ChatGPT, the history is being temporarily unavailable, and then in other news, the history was displayed to other users, like your history, and sometimes even more information behind that, like chat information. And then that startup started to replace developers by GPT-4, etc., which were always like not so nice news. But just today, I stumbled upon this use case, and I thought I'd bring that because it's quite uplifting. Be My Eyes is a Danish startup that has now integrated GPT-4 image recognition into their app for visually impaired users, so for people who are blind or have a low vision. The feature is named Virtual Volunteer, and it allows the users to take a photo of any object or something that is in front of them and get information about it, including getting directions or recipes or whatever it is. Previously, the app relied completely on human volunteers for this support system, but now the new feature takes advantage of the of GPT-4, as I said, that allows to analyze both images as text as input, as we know. They will roll out the app quite cautiously with beta testers first, and I think I saw below at the bottom of the article that you can still put yourself on the waiting list if you like have any visual burden to become one of the beta testers, because those who have already tested this described as life-changing. So which is quite interesting, and there's a video in the article where you can see various use cases. For example, they then call it Be My Gym Partner, Be My Fashion Advisor, My Green Thumb, My Translator, My Guide, My Map, My whatever. So I think this is a great example of how this technology can actually then really make a difference for people who are, really have difficulties in their day-to-day life, and not having to rely on volunteers through an app, but really make use of technologies. It sounds trivial, but it's just now due to GPT-4 that they can actually use it.
I think that's one of those... No, Chris, you go first. I spoke too much today.
I know. Is there still this noise in the background?
A little bit.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, my fan is running up and down all the time. I like this idea actually a lot. So many associations there. So first question is that really for blind people also or for people who have like some kind of sight which is not optimal, or really also for blind people?
It says in the article both, and I also thought like I totally get it for if you're like visually impaired, if you just like have a low vision in that regard, because you still have to kind of use the app and know where to push and everything if you have like a smartphone. But it's also for blind people, and I thought, well, obviously there probably are tricks and ways for blind people to use smartphones these days, so they state it's for both actually.
Yeah, I had the same questions regarding like people who are blind, how to deal with a smartphone. But anyway, so I like the idea a lot, because I could imagine. I mean, it's so simple, right? But so effective, so helpful. Like very often, the easiest things are the best. And also here you have really like a great effect in that specific area. I was thinking also that it's called the virtual volunteer. So the volunteer work actually is really big in Denmark anyways. So in that sense, it's also a bit of a pity that that volunteer area, so to say, is taken away by an app, by ChatGPT. So again, this is funny if you have this association as well, that ChatGPT is not only taking away all the design jobs nowadays, or some of the editorial jobs, but also voluntary work. But nonetheless, I think there will be other voluntary areas where people actually can do helpful stuff. I think, as said, this is really amazing and a cool idea. And not only that it's like dealing with things which have to be recognized, but also something like Be My Gym Partner also, which is more active, or Be My Translator. I mean, we had that with Google Translate before, but of course, I could imagine that this now gets onto another level for people who have like these visual, how did you call it? Visual problems somehow.
Yeah. I mean, even some of the examples, I mean, obviously people like us who can see, we have lots of opportunities to get support when it comes also to other languages, like the Be My Translator function that is in the app. But in the video, you see a person really scanning or taking a photo of a drink that is, like with Chinese signs completely, and then it just reads out loud, yeah, this is a drink and it contains this and this. I mean, it's even handy for people who are not like that visually. Now I'm also losing the word, but having those issues. But yeah, and it's interesting to see, like the one example in the gym, the person is going through the gym and like taking a video, and then it says like, yeah, now the second to the right is the one who's actually, free for you to use, like the treadmill and stuff. It's just really, really handy. Oh.
Okay. So it's not like it's doing some kind of gym exercises with you, but just more or less guiding you through the gym in this case.
It probably also does guiding you through exercises, but that is I don't know, but in the video you just see how that person is going through the gym and gets information on, which things are free.
Yeah, Chris, I don't think that it will take away jobs of volunteers or volunteering, will block volunteering, because the issues, as far as I understand, Henrik, and when I look at the article, I understand it, that the challenges this app helps people who are visually impaired mostly are things that not a volunteer would solve for you, but would just make your life a bit difficult. The website shows a great example of two shirts that have both stripes, and you could take a picture of those shirts and ask which one is the one with the red stripes. And I think this is something where probably you would not have a volunteer do that for you, but obviously what you would do is you would don't buy stripes or something like that. So I think most of the tasks that this helps with is not replacing volunteers. It is more making the daily challenges, someone who is visually impaired or has problems with their vision generally, or other challenges, I think those challenges that have just to be overcome every day by those people, it just makes them easier for them. I think that is the target.
Yeah, I mean, they do mention that it takes over most of the stuff that the human volunteers usually help them with, but they also said it won't replace that entirely, because if you as the user are not happy with the response, or you simply prefer to have a human answering your questions, then you can still call a human volunteer. So they do not want to completely replace that.
And it markets calling volunteer quite well. I mean, when you look at the screenshot, it shows very much, are you happy with that answer? Do you want to call a volunteer?
Yeah, I think the good thing is it makes you more independent if you want that, right? So on the other hand, of course, it takes away the social contact, because as far as I got it, the volunteer beforehand was not just like a help, giving context to your personal environment, but also was kind of a social company, right? And that, of course, is away now. Although we had that also in other tech reviews, that ChatGPT and other apps like that can also become some kind of social company you can talk to, you can actually have a nice evening with, so if you want to put it that way. And yeah, so maybe depending on your characters, it might be a replacement maybe, or at least an enhancement of a human volunteer.